wanna see you twerk. I throw a little money if you twerk. I don't really think you can twerk. Twerk. If you broke, go to work. Make that big booty twerk. Make that big booty. Hey guys, my name is Morgan. This is my first YouTube video. I'm really excited. Today what I did was record a tutorial of an everyday look that you can do when you want to, go to work, go to school. Just something quick and easy. So if you want to know how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. Alright, so I just got out the shower, and the first thing I like to do when I get out the shower is moisturize my face. So my face is dry, there's nothing on it right now, no makeup, nothing, it's clean. So I'm gonna use the Pond's moisturizing cream just to, moisturize my face. I like to moisturize my face before I do anything. It just makes the makeup go on smoother, So I like to do that, and then I don't have dry skin or anything, but just for some extra moisturization, I like to take the Mario Badescu cucumber spray, and I just spray it on my face to give me that extra glow underneath my makeup. So I'll let that dry a little bit, but then I like to start off with my brows. Some people like to start off with their face, but I start off with my brows first. And I'm using the Dip Brow in chocolate. And I'm just going to use this e.l.f. pencil just to fill my brows in. So, I'm going to just take this. Well, actually, this is a dark brown, not even chocolate. I grabbed the wrong one, but we're going to make it work.
We're going to make some shake, okay?
Like I said before, I'll end up making an eyebrow tutorial video. So this is going to go really fast, but I'll post a separate video on my channel of how I do my eyebrows just because it takes a little more talking and requires a little more attention. So right now I'm just going to fly through it. The concealer cleans them up. So I'm going to use, well, since I'm doing a more natural look, I would do a shade that's 2 shades lighter, but for a more natural look, I'll use one that's closer to my skin tone. So I'm going to be using this Hard Candy Glamourage concealer. What shade is this? In the shade Amber. So I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics flat brush. It came in a set. I really don't know the number of it. But you can take any flat brush, any concealer brush. Take it and just conceal the bottom. So right now I'm just concealing my brow, just cleaning it up, making it look neater. And I'm going to take a beauty blender to blend it out. Now for this part, I'll use a dry beauty blender, but when I do my whole face, the beauty blender will be damp. But for this part right here, I'll just use a dry one. And I'll just pat that, let it blend all out. Let it blend. By the way, this is a Real Techniques beauty sponge, not a beauty blender. After I do that, I'm just gonna finish blending that out. Now I'm using the Real Techniques Deluxe Concealer Brush just to finish blending the spots that I couldn't get to with the beauty blender. And then I'm gonna do the other eyebrow off camera, then I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished the other eyebrow off camera. Now I'm just gonna set it with some Laura Mercier powder and just Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, just so my lids won't crease. I'm just patting that on my lid just so that concealer stays in place and doesn't start to crease during the day. Because if you make the mistake of not setting it, you're gonna be looking crazy come 3 o'clock. And then I'm just gonna do the same to the other eye. So now I'm just gonna dust away that powder. Just dust away any excess powder. Okay, so since this is a everyday natural beat, you don't really do eyeshadow with this. But if you want, you can put on some, but just make it like a more natural skin tone shade. So I'm gonna take this Morphe 35O palette. And I'm just gonna grab one of these Wet n Wild blender brushes. Don't make fun of my palette. I just ordered a new one. It's a little cracked up, but I'm gonna take this shade right here and just put it all over my lid just to add like a little bit of color. I'm only gonna use one color just because, like I said, it's an everyday look. So I'm just gonna dust that just for a little bit of color. You see that it really didn't do much or make much of a difference because it's a skin tone shade, so it's supposed to match my eye basically, or my skin basically. So I'm just blowing off the excess because you don't want all that powder like falling on your face. So then I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. Now some people just throw in their lashes and just skip the eyeliner, and I think that's what I'm gonna do today. But if you want to, you can definitely add like a wing or something to give you that little pop, since your face is gonna be like, you know, a little plain. So for lashes, I don't even got none. Since it's an everyday natural look, I'm gonna use a natural pair of lashes. See me?
I'm dramatic.
But I got these. Where were these from? AliExpress. I think I got like 20 pairs for $5. Like, they're really cheap. They're the A513, and they're for more, you know, natural. And I'm gonna put them on off camera just because I'll do a separate video on how I apply my eyelashes and do my eyebrows. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I put my lashes on off camera, but I did double stack them just to make them more, you know, fluffy. Double stacking just means put one pair on, then put another pair on top of that. So now I'm done with my eyes. Something quick, something easy. So I'm going to start with my face. So when I do my foundation, I like to start with a primer. Some people don't like primers, but personally they make the foundation go on more smoothly. So I'm using this Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in Radiance. So I just use my fingers. Some people might use a brush. I just use my fingers. Just dot it in my T-zone. This is T-zone. Rub it in. You see how it's like giving me that glow already? That's what I like about it, because that glow will pop through your foundation. So I'm gonna mix two colors together simply because my foundation shade is too light now because I got a tan. And I usually use the Fenty Beauty in the color 380. So I'm gonna still use that, but I'm gonna mix it with a darker color. Mix it with this LA Girl, LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation in the color Cappuccino. I use this one because the Rihanna one is matte, and then this one is matte too. So two mattes mixed together is better than like a matte and a dewy mixed together. It's just like more of the same consistency. So I just put them on my hand and just mix them together. Now I'm just taking some foundation with my e.l.f. foundation brush. It was only $1. Just applying the foundation all over my face, evenly everywhere. I'm gonna act as if I'm concealing my eyebrows and take the brush and do the same motion, but I'm just using foundation instead of concealer. So it'll go something like this. I skipped this step initially when I was doing my eyebrows because usually you would use concealer, but since I'm going for a more natural look, I just use my foundation to conceal the top of my brows. Also, if you do conceal the top of your eyebrows, still make sure that you do that trick because you have like a concealer line and then the foundation line. So just to blend those like two together, I would just, you know, do that little trick that I just showed you how to do. Alright, so now I need to go wet this. Alright, so I just wet my Real Technique sponge, and now I'm just going to take that and blend this foundation out. It might look a little weird on camera, but in person, I promise it matches my neck. I don't know why it looks weird. But even if you have a foundation that's a little too dark, you can always fix it with brightening up your concealer, which is the next step. Or if you have one that's too light, you can fix it by bronzing with like a darker color than you usually bronze with, which we'll get to what bronzing is in a sec. But don't trip if, you know, the color is a little off, because you can always fix it. Alright, so I know that it's blended flawlessly, but just for like extra protection, I'll take this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush just to make sure it's blended right. Or I'll use a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, but that's downstairs with my client makeup, so I'm just going to use this one for today. So I'm just buffing the edges out. Blend it right, girl, because you don't want to be out there looking crazy, okay? Now for concealer, I'm just going to use this ColourPop concealer, no filter concealer, in the color medium dark 32. Now it might be a little light, but since my foundation it might be a little dark, I'll just use this to brighten it up a little. I'm not gonna use that much since this is a everyday makeup look. Little on my chin, little right here, and then down the bridge of my nose. Bring it up, spread it out, and put some on my forehead. Now I'm gonna take that same Real Technique sponge that I use for my foundation and use it for my concealer. And I like to start on the bottom, work it out, and then work my way up. And when I can't get in those little crevices up there, I'll just take that same concealer brush from Real Techniques that I had for my eyebrows and just buff it out, because the beauty blender is big and it really can't get in those cracks and crevices. So you just take your concealer brush and it does the same thing. So the same thing on this side. Man, y'all better make sure y'all blend that out right. Y'all gonna be in the club looking crazy, I'm telling you. When I do this, I'm just tapping off the extra product. So I just like tap it on my hand sometimes. And by the way, you can use a brush to blend this out, but I just feel like the blender just makes it, you know, more like flawless. But if you want a more natural look, more like a look that looks more like your skin, you can use, like how I use this concealer for under my eyebrows because it was more natural. You can do the same thing for the under eye, but I like my under eyes to be bright, so I'll use the 2 shade lighter concealer rather than the one that looks like my skin tone. So then I feel like blending is the most important step when doing your makeup, because as long as everything is blended correctly, that makes your face just look flawless and even. And I'll take my blending brush to blend the edges of that. That's the thing. Everything you do, make sure you blend the edges. When you blend the edges, it just makes everything become seamless. So now I'm just buffing in my edges of everything that I just applied. Buffing it into that foundation. And then now you have to set it, which this is the most important part, because if you don't set it, it'll start creasing. How I said about the eyelid, it'll start creasing. So I'm taking that Laura Mercier setting powder. I dip my sponge in it, but then I blow it off because I don't want all that excess, because I'm going to be pressing this into my skin, whereas people bake, but I don't bake just because I don't like how the after effect leaves you. You know, you become kind of like ashy and dusty. So I just blow it off and then look up and press it in. Like there shouldn't be much left. Like I shouldn't have a lot to dust off, and just dust off the excess powder, but there shouldn't be much to dust off because you blew off the excess. So then do it again, blow it off. This is a mini Laura Mercier. You're probably used to seeing the big ones, but this is the trial size one from Sephora. It was only like $22 when the big one is kind of like maybe like 40 some dollars. But it's the same thing, it's just in a smaller container. Now, set my lid. Now I have really bad smile lines. Smile lines are, you know, the little lines, and they'll like poke through and crease when I do my makeup. So I try to set those a little more heavily. And I'll set my chin too with the excess. And then take that same brush. Oh no, I didn't use this one. I used this one. Take this brush. Dust off the excess. Now I'm gonna set my nose, my forehead. Like I don't leave it on for no time at all. That's called baking, and I don't do that just because it makes me like ashy looking out. Now it's time to contour. Okay, so you can either cream contour or powder contour. When I'm doing like a full glam bee, I'll do both, but just for this I'll just do powder. So I'm using this BH Cosmetics Studio Pro contour palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here. And I'm gonna use a clean one of that same e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Take a little bit, blow it off, and then you already have a natural contour on your face, but when you put foundation on, you cover it. So basically we just, you know, putting it back on. So I'll just take it, brush in circles, and just put it back. Same thing on your forehead. Alright, so then I'm gonna take the other brush that I used. Oh my god. I just spilled all that powder. Like I said, blend the edges out, everything that you do. Blend that out. Blend that out. Alright. This step is optional, but if you want a more precise contour, you'll just take some powder and, you know, slice it just to make it more precise. Take one of the blending brushes, blend that out with the quickness so you don't got that little white line left underneath. Alright, now I'm gonna contour my nose with that same color. And then you could take that concealer brush. I just wipe it off a little bit in case there's some, you know, cream product on there, and just blend out the edges of that. Everything you do, just make sure you blend out the edges. That's how you get the flawless finished look. Alright, so then when you did your makeup, sometimes your brow product will like smear or get like a little lighter. So you just go back in, just darken it up, bring the color back. Some powder may have got on there, you never know. You just put it back. Right. So now that all that's done, this is not setting spray. This is facial spray. So this like, it's not gonna set your face, but it'll like make it, you know, more dewy and glowy. So I put this on before I put my highlighter on. So I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting bar. It just came out. You just open it up. Oh, mine fell, so it cracked, but it still get the job done. Just wait. I'm gonna open it. All right. See, look, mine cracked. But I'll take this BH Cosmetic brush. It came in the set. Just take a little bit of it and then dust off the excess. Turn to the side and then apply it. I take my highlighter a little lower so that you can see it from the front and not just. Who is that? Who is that? So you can see it from the front and not just, you know, from the side when I turn my head. So I'm a little extra. So I'm gonna just add a little more. And then hit the nose. Just wherever you feel like you want to glow, girl, glow. It's your choice, okay? Alright, and then I'm going to just take a regular old eyeshadow brush. Go back into the palette that I used for my lid. What color am I going to take? I'm going to take this shade right here in the Morphe 35O. And just put it underneath my eye. My eye is about to water. Also, optional step is eyeliner on the bottom. I love me a good waterline. I'm gonna just take this little brush. It's a random little angled brush. You can use the same type of brush that you use to fill in your eyebrows, but I'm gonna just tight line my waterline. Make sure your finger is clean, right? Take your finger, hold down your eye. Can you see me? This is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeliner in 171 Blackest Black, if you wanted to know. Alright, so now I'm going to add some inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. So I'll take the same highlighter, pop it in the corner, pop it in the corner, not a lot, just a little. And like I said, if you get some product on it, just fix it. You don't need to wipe it off your whole brow because you messed it up a little bit. Just fix it. So now I'm gonna set my face. I'm gonna use this MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. This is setting spray. I'm set it all over my face. Go a long way, okay? It's like, alright. So I'm gonna just pop some gloss on my lips. And that's the finished look.
They say I'm not hot, all these lies need to stop. Cause I'm icy, wifey, haters wanna fight me. Never been the one get RP up on a whitey. Keep my hands clean.